Dating in my 30s post-divorce is absolutely brutal and exhausting, and it feels like a second full-time job. And I'm leaning more towards just being that crazy cat woman that we all heard about when we were younger, and just owning a bunch of them and keeping my own space and not having to worry about anybody else again. But is it just me, or is dating so much harder now than it was when we were in our 20s or younger? I don't get it.
If your ex is totally moved on with their life and has moved on to a significant other, new hobbies, new interests, and has become a completely new, different person, and you're obsessed with it, like, where was that in our relationship? What's going on?
Sorry.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. You know, guys, sometimes life is just not fair. You marry that person, you know, that you thought you know, but things don't go well. It changes, you know, things happen, life happens, and divorce seems like the only reasonable answer. So there are women out there that this is their experience. They tried their hardest, they tried to be in that marriage, but things don't work out. But today, guys, we're not covering these women. Today, we're covering the women that left, right, and center just get divorces for whatever reason, not the spark not being there, the glitter wearing off, all those things. Today, we're covering these women that end up on the street because of their own decisions, and now somehow they are the victim. So let's get started, guys, and let's see what they have to say in their defense.
Okay, this video is for all my single moms out there. How is dating going for you? Dating in my 30s post-divorce is absolutely brutal and exhausting, and it feels like a second full-time job. And I haven't been dating because it's that exhausting, and I'm leaning more towards just being that crazy cat woman that we all heard about when we were younger, and just owning a bunch of them and keeping my own space and not having to worry about anybody else again. But is it just me, or is dating so much harder now than it was when we were in our 20s or younger? I don't get it. Younger guys that are all interested in the mom thing, which is weird, or older guys who do not grow out of the frat boy phase. Somebody help.
Nobody's going to help you, madam. Help is not coming your way. And yes, it is easy to date as a woman in your 20s. It's extremely easy and reasonably easy. You barely have to provide anything. The bar is so low. So this is why we're being critical towards you, right? You had all these options, you had all this time, and now somehow you wind up being a single mom, right? And yes, dating is not that easy after, you know, you get above 30. Why? Well, let me tell you guys, women have exactly two options in regards to relationships once they get over 30. One of them is the situationship with the better man who is better than them, leagues above them, that doesn't come to fruition in any way, shape, or form. It never forms a relationship. It's just for chat. This is an appetizer, all right? It's like for recreational purposes. The other option they have is the simps. The simps that are willing to do absolutely anything for some female attention. And they don't care at all about your story or whatever not. They just want female attention. And of course, guys, none of these two options are viable for these women, because Chad won't commit, so they'll wind up single and alone and bitter. And the simps, they just don't respect themselves, right? So why will these women respect them? What gets me is that these women, they haven't been respecting their time for the last years. They haven't been respecting themselves, and then they are somehow shocked when these other sims that also don't respect themselves are not viable options. You know, madam, you're getting what you deserve, alright? Like, being with one of those simps is what you deserve. But anyways, guys, let's move on to our next woman. And let's find out, is she also extremely shocked that after you miss and dismiss all the good guys and you wind up 30 and alone, it also is harder than dating in your 20s?
Since splitting up from my husband a couple of years ago, I've had to learn how to date, and I've learned so many lessons, and all of them the hard way. And these are the top lessons I learned in 2023, and it was the fuckery of dating. So, number one, be really clear on your boundaries from the beginning, because it will save a lot of heartbreak further down the line. Situationships are bullshit and should be avoided like the plague.
Guys, I'm gonna pause her right here to mention something really funny about healing and all those things. As you can see, this video is from 2023. This was at the end of 2023. This woman sharing her wisdom and all the things that she's learned. Now, when I found this TikTok, I thought I've seen this woman from somewhere. And it is because a week ago, we covered this same woman posting a video about her being played by chat. Okay, this is last week, a recent video. So this is why I just don't believe these women when they talk about their healing journeys. I don't care, couldn't care less. You can pay me to care about their healing journeys because they don't reflect upon their lives. Now watch her blabber for 40 more seconds about all the things she's learned, and she's so wise. She can be a senpai, extremely learned and experienced in life. Great. But just last week, you were with chat again, right? So avoid these women at all costs, guys. The healing journey women, the ones who now know their worth. And yeah, just don't touch them with a 6-foot pole.
Know your value so that other people know your value too. When you are getting to know somebody, sit back and observe them without trying to change them, because then you'll get a much clearer picture of their character much quicker. You can meet somebody and they will tick all of your boxes and you won't have a spark. And you can meet someone who ticks none of your boxes and you will still have a spark. If someone doesn't have a bio on a dating app, they are not interested in dating seriously. When we get to know someone, we can easily confuse excitement with chemistry, and we confuse safe with boring. So choose the person that brings you peace. If someone is telling you that they don't want to be in a relationship, believe them and walk away.
Yeah, so what was your experience listening to her talk? Were you really invested, waiting to hear something groundbreaking and shaking and extremely important? No, right? Because I just told you that last week she didn't listen to her own advice, that it took her a whole year jumping from one chat banana to the next one to learn. So you don't respect her. You just don't care what she's talking about. It's white noise at this point. It's my reaction every time I hear a woman talking about her healing journey, regardless of the fact, regardless if I know if she is back with chat or not, because 99% of the times they just don't listen to their advice and they go back to that chat again. All right, this is just I believe that they say all those things to, one, get attention from the internet, of course, and two, just sleep better at night, right? They know that they're pathetic losers. They know that they have made all the mistakes in life. They know that they have trashed their lives in one of the best ways possible. And this is somehow their little attempt at sleeping better at night, knowing that they're an absolutely terrible person that makes terrible choices. But now, guys, let's move on to our third woman, and let's hear about this one.
So I'm divorced and remarried, and I got married really quick the second time. I'm talking like engaged and married within a few months. And someone...
Wow, guys, now this woman is here to, question my hypothesis, right? I'm just talking here. I sit here and talk every day about how women are over 30. It's pretty much over for them, right? If they haven't been able to manage to secure a relationship in 30 years, they won't do it until the end of their days, right? But this woman just comes out right here and says, no, I've actually been over 30. I am over 30, excuse me. I've been divorced, and now I got engaged and married really fast. So how is this possible? My audience will say, this guy Hiran, maybe he's not that. He doesn't know his stuff. He hasn't done his homework. Watch closely, gentlemen. How was this woman able to do it? Watch. All right, here it comes. There it is, guys. Now, for those of you not watching, the caption of this video is "Manifest this for your future husband." So there it is, guys. If you're finding it hard to date, even if you're a terrible woman, just resort to manifesting, all right? When it comes to manifesting, there are no rules other than you'll get what you try to manifest. So now let's see, how did she manifest him?
Recently asked me, how did I know my husband was the right person for me, especially after all I had been through? And I found what I wrote, and I just feel like you need to save this and write it down in your manifesting journal. Okay, I wrote, this man pursued me so intentionally, it melted away any insecurities because he showed me I was more important than relationship games. He adored me so much that I never had room to question if I was good enough. He respected me so well that I never questioned my worth with him. He was so wonderful to me that it made me want to be my very best self for him. And then I finish it off with, what made me fall in love with him as an adult so quickly without too much questioning anything was the way he made me feel about myself with his actions. Note that I didn't say how he made me feel in general. Any fuckboy can make you feel giddy and excited. It's how his actions made me feel about myself as an individual. Anyways, I wrote this about 2 years ago when we had been married 4 years, and now we've been married 6.5 years, and I still feel the exact same way about him. So go back and rewatch my video, write down everything that I wrote about my husband, and put it in your journal, because every girl deserves a guy like that. And they're out there, I promise. You just gotta dig for them.
Guys, I hate this word deserve. It has to be the most entitled word. No, madam, you don't deserve anything, alright? We deserve what we do and what our actions reflect upon our lives. That is what we deserve. And you honestly don't deserve to be with that man, but I'll go back to that in a moment. Notice how she was mentioning a few things, guys. I'll just wind it back and mute it so I can play it while I talk. But she mentioned how one of the things that this man did for her is he pursued her, he made her feel safe, he showed her what love is and all that things. Notice how she didn't mention he was attractive, right? One of the most important things, because you can be the white knight, you can be this guy that is trying to get rid of all her insecurities. I mean, guys, there is an endless sea of simps out there that are willing to do all those things, but these women don't care at all about them, right? I mean, men who are willing to white knight you and save you from the dragon and from your nightmares, millions, in the millions, all right? But women don't pay attention to them. So let me just add that to the list, right? He was just attractive, and that is why she was with him in the first place. But now moving on to the guy, I have no idea why this man is with her, all right? And you can say a lot of things. You can say that, well, maybe she has changed, she has left a path of destruction, you know, she's a changed woman, and he saw something special in her. Maybe, guys, maybe. But I don't advise you to do the same. Why? Well, if you want to be a white knight, you want to be the savior, you want to be the, you know, the Prince Charming that saves these women and shows them what love is, 9 out of 10 cases, if not more, you're just gonna fail miserably, all right? If you want to do it, feel welcome. Just go out there, but you're probably gonna break your head, all right? It's probably not going to end well, this whole saving thing, because first off, the vast majority of women that are at this point, that they have all these insecurities and trauma and baggage, they are already addicted to anxiety. So even if you put them in the perfect relationship, they're just going to sabotage it. Second off, even if she has the potential to change, it's always a massive risk. And given no-fault divorce, given that women with high body counts have an extremely low percentage chance to keep a marriage and keep it going, it's just not a good option, all right? Go for women who have less baggage. And that someone may say, oh, Hiran, that is so cold. It's not cold. Women go for guys who are taller rather than shorter. Women go for guys who are more decisive rather than undecisive, right? So why wouldn't men go for women who have less baggage and less of a past than women with a colorful past, all right? And let me just say this to finish my comment on this video before we jump on to the next one. Women are born with value. Everybody loves them, everybody wants them. This is why they have to keep it. This is why their past matters. Men are born with no value. Nobody other than their family loves them or cares about them in the slightest, alright? In order for them to have friends, they have to be entertaining. In order for them to be noticed by women, they have to compete and be better than the rest, alright? Men are born with no value, they have to work for their value. And this is why their future matters to women. Alright, now let's continue, guys. Leave me your thoughts about that.
Now, this one might sting a little bit. If it does, it means something. If your ex is totally moved on with their life and has moved on to a significant other, new hobbies, new interests, and has become a completely new, different person, and you're obsessed with it, like, where was that in our relationship? What's going on? Ask yourself, are they looking at my life and saying, man, I've moved on, I have new hobbies, I have a new significant, I have new things going on? No, they aren't saying that, because you're sitting at home obsessing about your ex. Get off your ass, start doing shit for yourself, start making yourself happy, and start caring less about what the other half is doing. You're not going backwards. You're not going back into that relationship. So why do you care so much? I'm glad that they moved on. Believe me, you'll eventually get there. But you need to move on too, and quit obsessing about them and obsess about yourself. Put that much energy into you and your life will completely change.
You know, guys, I think that the reason she is not with her ex anymore is because she was prioritizing herself when she was in that relationship. But that is my guess. So this woman, of course, a little resentful, may I say, about her ex doing so well in life after the breakup. But here's the thing, guys. Here's the thing, all right? A lot of men, divorce happens and they go through it in a really bad manner, you know, it's not what they expected, etc. But after that, they just find such a peace and quiet in a life without these toxic women. It's such a common occurrence, right? And this woman's inability to keep this man really shows which is the problem. It's her, you know. If you hadn't realized, men are so easy to keep. Honestly, this is my opinion, guys. I've had no experience in that, okay? Don't be confused about that. But they just require so little, all right? Like, if you're a woman that looks attractive and is a good friend and good to be around, if you just, let's say you cook something for your man, he's going to be the happiest man in town, all right? It's that easy. It's 1 hour a day to keep him happy, all right? It's really not hard to keep a man. Something else to point out, guys, is look at this woman just sitting in her on her couch and thinking, well, did I miss my shot? This man, you know, did I do a mistake by divorcing him? This is something I've seen so often, where women will leave Josh for Dave, but then Josh has like a glow up. He starts to earn more money, or he gets promoted, or all the women start to like him. He gets into another relationship, and they will be sitting there thinking, wow, did I make a mistake with leaving Dave for Josh? They leave Josh or Dave, I forgot the name already, but they leave their partner to find someone better. And it's like business to them, you know, guys. It's like, did I make a good trade? Was that a good deal? I thought I'm getting something better, but maybe the exchange was not worth it. You know, guys, it's like absolutely a business perspective. Love is never part of the equation. It's not about that special person. You know, it's kind of ironic that women talk so much about soulmates and my soul partner, my other half and all that. Yet they are the ones who oftentimes have this absolutely superficial understanding of things, of partners, of love, of life, and whatever not. So, really funny to see this woman right here, thinking, damn, I just missed this this promotion, right? This man got a promotion, I missed it because I decided that I can get something better. But now, guys, we'll be closing this video on the thought that these women nowadays are just leaving divorces, except this one. This one got left, right? Got left behind. But most women are leaving these marriages thinking that they will get something better, that they will upgrade their man, that life is all about them and they're in the center of the universe and everything revolves around them, and that they should be happy. They deserve to be happy is the word, gentlemen. And they just find out that the streets are cold, and that life is not a fairy tale. Life is not a Disney movie where everyone gets to live happily ever after, all right? And it just turns out that these husbands that they so despised are not the villains of the story, all right? They're not the ones that made their life worse. Because these women are thinking that, oh, it's this man that's holding me back. He's not to my level. I can find something better. And then they find that the streets are cold and that nobody cares about them. And that their husband was the best thing that was around at the time. Yeah? But that's my thoughts, gentlemen. What are yours? Leave them down in the comments below. And I'll be happy to see you next time. Have a good one.